People have been playing and mastering a Football Manager over the years, and some people just want that extra challenge. We're looking at the hardest challenges Football Manager 26 has to offer. As the video goes on, the challenges will get harder, ending with the hardest challenge on the whole game, so stick around for that. Number 1 on the list is Burnley. After almost catching Leeds United last season in the Championship with record-breaking defensive record, Burnley lost their record-breaking goalkeeper James Trafford to Manchester City's bench and captain Josh Brownhill to Saudi Arabia. Although they have made a few good signings, including Kyle Walker and 65 million worth of Chelsea youngsters, keeping them in the Premier League will be a challenge and a half. Although the squad is built decently well for season 1, even if you are favourites for relegation, if you do go down, you have an aging core to get rid of and expensive Premier League wages to contend with. That's if you don't get sacked before then. And number 2, we're staying with England but down to the Championship, and it is Sheffield Wednesday, the club that was days away from going extinct. The club is now in administration with a points deduction and a transfer ban, making any kind of hope of staying up borderline impossible. With the transfer ban likely to stay with you for another 18 months, a summer rebuild after relegation isn't going to be the easiest task either. There's a few decent players like Nathaniel Chalobah and Jamal Lowe who will want to leave shortly after relegation, even though Wednesday legend Barry Bannon is still knocking around at 35 in the first season, surely retirement isn't too far away. With any luck, playing your cards right by selling the right players for the right fees at the right time might save the club from going extinct. On the plus, you do have fan favourite Harry Amas, but even he's on loan only until January. And number 3 is another club in England, but a little bit more down the pyramid and in the National League South. The club's owner, Clark Osborne, announced in February 2024 that he was unable to continue funding the club. Consequently, the club entered administration in April 2024. Before that, they were hit with a 10-point deduction in March 2024 because of insolvency issues. The financial and off-field issues coincided with on-field problems. The club were relegated from the 5th tier, the National League, at the end of the 22-23 season, returning to the 6th tier National League South. With the club in administration, a fan-led consortium, Breen Consortium, emerged as a preferred bidder to take over. The takeover described as being a potential new era, but with significant work ahead to stabilise the club's finances and competitive standing. The deductions, financial uncertainty and relegation have eroded stability at the club. For a team that has had spells in the Football League, this is a major shift. There's a latent risk of a further decline down the pyramid if stability isn't restored. Torquay United have been hit by a combination of financial collapse, with owner being unable to fund, administration, points penalties, sporting decline, including relegation, and ownership upheaval. The hope is now that the new ownership will pull things back together, but the club is in a vulnerable place right now. Being one of the few professional clubs in a mostly semi-professional league with players like Exeter City graduate Matt Jay and frontman Cody Kirk, the road to the National League, while hard, isn't impossible, and the road to the EFL and further is where the challenge really takes shape. With a decent fan base and attendances, you'll have a good head start, but any non-league to legend has its bumps in the road. At number 4 is the Director of Football Challenge. If you love a challenge that can be frustrating, difficult and extremely hard to complete, you will love the Director of Football Challenge. With this challenge, you hand over all power and give it to the AI of Football Manager, and in particular, the Director of Football, the Technical Director and the Loan Manager. They will be responsible for transfers, scouting assignments, contract renewals, finding and firing staff, and arranging all your outgoing loans. Something that also makes this challenge difficult is that you're not allowed to sell or transfer players, so you're completely dependent on the choices of your Director of Football, and you have to try to perform the selection he has his team put together for you. And it will be quite difficult to keep high-performing players for your club, while the Director of Football has a good eye on your club finances. If there's one thing FM's AI can't do well, it's logical thinking. High salaries and low minimum fee release clauses in contracts are part of this challenge. Here you have 4 objectives. Firstly, take control of any club. Secondly, sign a Director of Football if the club doesn't already have one. Third, win the league and domestic cups. And then fourth, win international trophies. There are some rules to apply to this challenge. Number 1, you can't complete any transfers for yourself. Number 2, you can't make bids for any players yourself. Number 3, you can't complete any loans or make loan offers. You can't sign any new players or sack poor performing staff. You can't sign any new contracts to your players or staff, and you can't send scouts on assignments. Director of Football is one of these challenges that you really have to rely on the AI and Football Manager. AI is really not the smartest, so Director of Football is number 4 on this challenge. Although international football isn't in Football Manager, Build a Nation has always been popular, and it's always been the ultimate challenge for even the most hardcore Football Manager player base, and nothing is harder than Gibraltar. There are very few Gibraltarian players, and most are part-timers with low ability and potential. Regens or new gens will start extremely weak, often a 1 to 3 star potential. You'll rely heavily on foreign players at first, which slows the national team's growth. Gibraltar clubs are financially tiny. Prize money and sponsorships are laughably small. You'll struggle to sign staff, upgrade facilities, or even go full-time. Most clubs share the Victoria Stadium, and the facilities start off dreadful. Youth and training facilities and infrastructure are minimal. You'll need some seasons of saving or European income before you can even improve anything. The Gibraltar National League starts as one of the lowest reputation leagues in Europe. Even if you dominate domestically, foreign players don't even want to join. It takes multiple seasons of European progress to lift the reputation. You'll find it hard to recruit decent coaches or scouts at first. Few even want to move to Gibraltar. The scouting range is tiny, and you'll have to slowly expand as your reputation improves. You'll start near the bottom of UEFA's coefficient list, and this is what you'll want to grow, with 1 or 2 wins in Europe, barely moving the needle. You'll need multiple clubs consistently performing in Europe to rise. The Gibraltarian clubs are semi-pro and will often stagnate. They might sell their best players too cheaply or fail to reinvest. And if you want to make it that little step harder, you can have no foreign players until you win a European group match, or only use homegrown players after year 10. Anyway, that was the hardest challenges on FM26. Let me know down below which ones you want to take part in, or any that I might have missed. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.